Man's Opinion. Today I'm reviewing the new Stephen Sondheim musical review, Sondheim's Old Friends, with music and lyrics by Stephen Sondheim, most of them anyway. Developed by Cameron Mackintosh, direction and musical staging by Matthew Bourne, choreography by Stephen Mear, and running through June 15th at the Manhattan Theater Club's The Samuel J. Friedman Theater at 261 West 47th Street in New York City. Become a new friend over at my Patreon page, where you can, for as little as $1 a month, support my work here, as well as my classic cinema podcast, Yesterday's Matinee. Patrons get early access to the latest episode of Yesterday's Matinee, as well as my quick reviews, where I give my quick thoughts on shows before I flesh them out into these reviews you see here. Thank you to my current patrons, especially my Neo and Hamilton tier patrons, and welcome to the new ones. Links to my Patreon, Apple, and Spotify pages will be in the description. I love Stephen Sondheim. He is arguably the greatest musical theater composer that has ever lived. Always ahead of his contemporaries, writing revolutionary musicals often about, at the time anyway, taboo subject matter with complex lyrics and dazzling scores. Musicals like Company, A Little Night Music, Merrily We Roll Along, Sunday in the Park with George, Assassins, Into the Woods, Follies, Sweeney Todd, and more have all found their place as classics. But we already have several Sondheim reviews. Before this one, we have Side by Side by Sondheim, putting it together, Sondheim on Sondheim. Why do we need a new one? I think that's a fair question. It's probably something for producer Cameron Mackintosh to answer, as this is his project. A producer with such unparalleled ego that he included in the review the clip of Andrew Lloyd Webber and Stephen Sondheim singing a parody of Send in the Clowns about Cameron Mackintosh from his Hey Mr. Producer special. Otherwise, the review pretty much speaks for itself. There is only a little bit of introduction at the beginning of the show as Bernadette Peters and Lea Salonga, who headlined the show, bring us into the whole show. Once that's over, the songs are rapid fire, one after another. There's no dialogue interludes talking about Sondheim's life, or how he played his role in creating these songs that we're about to listen to in the show. Though Bernadette and Lea do get most of the more coveted songs in the show, it really is more of an ensemble show featuring some fantastic performances. Beth Leavel gives a show-stopping performance of The Ladies Who Lunch from Company. Jeremy Seckham gives a haunting performance as Sweeney Todd in a collection of Sweeney Todd numbers, with Lea Salonga pulling off a pretty convincing Mrs. Lovett. Follies gets a lot of love as Bonnie Langford gives a beautiful performance of I'm Still Here. The same with Gavin Lee singing Could I Leave You, and Jason Pennycook giving an energetic turn of Buddy's Blues. Jacob Dickey does get the privilege of leading the company in Being Alive, which is always a crowd pleaser. But like I said, Bernadette and Lea get the spotlight a bit more than anyone else. Bernadette gets her chance to play Little Red in the Into the Woods section of the show, which is kind of funny when you think about it, considering she's 77 and singing I Know Things Now. But her Losing My Mind from Follies and her Send in the Clowns from A Little Night Music hit a bit deeper. Her voice isn't what it used to be, that's to be expected, but her heart is deeply embedded in the music. She, along with Beth Leavel and Joanne Riding, give one of the most hilarious burnt-out renditions of You Gotta Get a Gimmick you'll ever see. Lea is spotlighted in an excellent, if abbreviated somewhere, from West Side Story, and a powerful performance of Everything's Coming Up Roses from Gypsy, along with her aforementioned stint as Mrs. Lovett, where she does get a detailed, slightly reserved, in comparison to the latest revival anyway, performance of The Worst Pies in London. That's just a sampling of what the review has in its arsenal, as ensemble and group numbers like Comedy Tonight, the Tonight Quintet from West Side Story, and Waiting for the Girls Upstairs are all fantastic. Reviews being what they are, which is essentially a showcase of the actors and the songs, nothing hits as hard as it would if it was actually performed in the musical the songs originated from. So, as great as I say these performances are, it should be noted that nothing hits with the same emotional impact as they would if they were performing the numbers in the actual shows the songs came from. I've seen some people describe this review as boring, and I wouldn't go that far. I think the show is entertaining, and it's a nice homage to Sondheim. I find the performances entertaining, but like I said, it just doesn't carry the same weight, and I can appreciate if people find that boring. Personally, that wasn't an issue for me. Another issue with reviews, particularly reviews about a composer as prolific and successful as Sondheim, is that we can't always get what we want. My favorite musical of his, Sunday in the Park with George, only gets one number represented here with the song Sunday. There's nothing from Assassins, nothing from Evening Primrose. Take Me to the World is one of my favorite Sondheim songs, and I'm missing that here. There's no Pacific Overtures, nothing from his last show, Here We Are, which, though I'm not a fan of the show, could have been a nice touch nonetheless. But if we did have all that, it'd be 3.5 hours. Not that I'd be complaining about a 3.5 hour review of Sondheim songs. Admittedly, it would be pretty long, and I would understand if people couldn't hack something that long. So if you're a Sondheim fan, you're probably going to love Old Friends. The performances are great, but kind of make you wish you would have just seen them in these roles at some point in their careers in the shows the songs come from, as it would have made their performances even better. There are some feelings of, oh well, didn't get to hear this song this time, but hey, getting 40 Sondheim songs in one night is still a pretty good deal. But I'm only one man's opinion, so be sure to leave yours in the comments below. If you'd like to see Old Friends, I'll leave a link in the description where you can get tickets. Also in the description will be links to my Patreon, Spotify, and Apple pages, as well as handles to my social media where you can follow me and support my work. You can also support me by liking and sharing this video, subscribing to the channel, and clicking the notification bell to be alerted to future reviews. My next review will be Music Theatre of Connecticut's production of La Cage aux Folles. Thank you for watching, and I will see you at the theater.